Good evening, and welcome to Softly Through Time. Tonight, I invite you to settle in, perhaps with a warm cup of tea or a soft blanket, as we gently step back into a quieter age, a time when medicine came from garden and forest, when the healing arts were guided as much by tradition as by science, and when, on occasion, people sought not just relief from pain, but a brief escape from the weight of daily life. We'll be exploring the soft, winding history of drugs and remedies in medieval times, from humble herbs that eased a headache or soothed a fever, to the curious substances used for recreation, contemplation, and even ceremony. Picture, if you will, the gentle clink of glass vials in a wooden shop, the sweet, earthy scent of dried lavender and rosemary filling the air, the flickering light of a candle casting dancing shadows on stone walls. This was a world without modern medicines or machines. A world where healing and comfort were sought in simple syrups, fragrant poultices, and quiet rituals passed down over generations. But it was also a world where people, just like us, longed for moments of relief, from worry, from sorrow, from the aches of the body or the heaviness of the heart. And in those moments they turned to herbs, brews, and powders, not just for healing, but for peace, for joy, for a touch of wonder. So let's take a deep breath. Let your mind grow still, and softly begin our journey into the gentle world of medieval drugs and remedies.
Here, in this quiet place, healing begins. For the monks, tending herbs was as much a spiritual practice as it was a medical one. Each plant was a gift, a remedy waiting to be discovered. They recorded their knowledge in careful books, parchment pages filled with drawings of leaves, roots, and blossoms, alongside notes in neat Latin script. They knew that a tea of mint might soothe a troubled stomach, that rosemary, warmed and crushed, could ease an aching joint, that the scent of lavender could quiet the mind and bring rest to a weary body. Their gardens were small, simple, but filled with life. Sage, thyme, rue, borage, hyssop, and marjoram. Each plant had a purpose, each leaf a meaning. Let's linger a while in these gardens, where the only sounds are the soft hum of bees, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the quiet footfalls of the gardener at work. In the distance, we might hear the low murmur of monks at prayer, the slow toll of a bell calling to the next task of the day. From these gardens, the herbs would be gathered, carefully, thoughtfully, and brought into the monastery's small infirmary. Here, a brother trained in healing would prepare simple remedies: a tea of chamomile for sleep, a syrup of honey and horehound for a cough, a poultice of comfrey to lay upon a bruise or broken bone. There was great care in these preparations, not only for the medicine itself, but for the soul of the one who would receive it. A prayer might be whispered over the herbs, a sign of the cross traced gently in the air. And in this way, healing was not just of the body, but of the spirit. Let's walk now beyond the monastery, to the small towns and villages where the apothecary practiced his craft. Picture a narrow street, its stones worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. The apothecary's shop sits on a corner, its wooden sign swinging gently in the breeze. Inside, the air is rich with the mingled scents of dried herbs, sweet resins, and sharp vinegar. Shelves line the walls, crowded with glass bottles, ceramic jars, and little wooden boxes. A mortar and pestle rests on the worn work table, alongside bundles of dried lavender, rosemary, and fennel. Here the apothecary blends science and tradition. He measures out powders and oils, mixes syrups sweetened with honey, prepares lozenges of licorice and horehound to ease a cough. He might grind amber into powder, believing it could protect against illness, or mix crushed pearls into a draught, said to strengthen the heart. There's a gentle rhythm to his work, the soft scrape of the pestle, the quiet drip of oil, the careful pouring of a tincture into a waiting vial. And as we linger in this shop, we can almost hear the gentle conversation between apothecary and patient. A mother seeking relief for her child's fever, an old man with aching knees, a young woman hoping for sleep to ease her worries. Each is met with kindness, with care, with a remedy chosen not just for its ingredients, but for its harmony with the person's humors, the ancient belief in balance within the body. The apothecary selects warming herbs for one, cooling herbs for another. He offers a charm or a prayer if it brings comfort. And so healing in the medieval world was as much about compassion as it was about medicine. But let us turn now to the gentler, quieter uses of these substances, not only to heal but to soothe, to lift the spirits, to bring a moment's peace or delight. Alcohol was, of course, a part of daily life. The water in many towns was not safe to drink, so ale, mead, and wine were common at every table. But beyond necessity, these drinks brought warmth, cheer, and comfort. Spiced wine, known as hippocras, was a particular favorite. Sweetened with sugar and flavored with cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and nutmeg, it was served at feasts and celebrations, warming the body, gladdening the heart. Mead, made from honey, was thought to strengthen and nourish. And ale, simple, humble, but beloved, was the drink of the common folk, shared in taverns and homes alike. Beyond drink, there were other substances known for their calming or uplifting effects. In some regions, mixtures of herbs like wild lettuce, henbane, or even poppy were burned gently on coals or smoked in small pipes. The smoke was said to ease pain, quiet the mind, or bring on a light, dreamlike state. Opium, rare but not unknown, especially in southern lands, was sometimes added to a draught or paste to bring deep, restful sleep. Mandrake, with its curious human-shaped root, was handled carefully. In tiny doses, it might ease pain or bring on a trance. In larger amounts, it was dangerous, so it was treated with great respect. And so, in quiet corners of medieval life, these substances offered not just healing, but brief moments of softness, of rest, of gentle escape. Let's imagine now a small gathering in a warm, fire-lit hall. Friends sharing a jug of spiced wine, a minstrel playing softly on a lute, the scent of burning herbs mingling with the smell of roasting meat and fresh bread. Laughter rises, then fades, and the room is filled with that peaceful, contented hush that comes when the heart is light and the body at ease. Beyond feasts and firesides, we find herbs woven into ritual and belief, a charm worn around the neck filled with rue and sage to ward off illness, a small pouch of lavender tucked beneath a pillow to bring pleasant dreams. And sometimes a healer would offer more than herbs, a whispered blessing, a softly spoken prayer, a ritual to ease the mind and bring hope. For in the medieval world, healing was never only of the flesh, it was of the heart, the spirit, the soul. Let's walk, slowly now, through these scenes, a monastery garden at dawn, heavy with dew, an apothecary shop at dusk, its candles glowing softly against the night, a quiet hall where friends gather, the air sweet with wine and herbs. Let's pause in each place and let the stillness, the gentleness of these moments fill our minds. There were other curious practices too, small, almost forgotten pieces of the medieval world. In some places, poppy seeds were sprinkled on bread, thought to calm the mind and bring restful sleep. In others, sugared rose petals were eaten as a sweet and gentle remedy for sadness. Frankincense and myrrh were burned not only in churches, but in homes, their fragrant smoke thought to cleanse, to purify, to bring peace. And always, behind each of these practices, was the hope, simple, timeless, for comfort, for ease, for moments of joy in a world that could be hard and uncertain. Let's return one last time to that apothecary shop. The fire burns low. The last customer has gone. The apothecary sets aside his mortar and pestle, tidies his jars, and closes the wooden shutters. Outside, the street is quiet. A soft breeze stirs the leaves. The town settles into sleep, wrapped in darkness, lit only by the faint glow of a distant lantern. And here, in this stillness, we can rest too. The gentle remedies of the past, the teas, the syrups, the fragrant smokes and sweet wines, remind us that even in long-ago days people sought the same things we do now, healing peace and the small comforts that make life gentle and good.
And now, dear friend, as our quiet journey through medieval healing and gentle recreation begins to draw to its close, let's take this time together to rest, to breathe, and to softly reflect. We have wandered through peaceful monastery gardens, where dew clings to soft green leaves and the morning light filters gently through ancient trees. We have paused to watch as humble hands, patient and kind, tended to the healing plants that grew close to the earth. Sage, rosemary, lavender, simple familiar names that carried with them centuries of hope. Let us linger a while longer in these gardens. Imagine the soft sound of sandals brushing along a worn stone path, the hush of a robe's hem catching the breeze, the delicate hum of bees as they move from blossom to blossom. The air is cool, fresh, and filled with the mingled scents of mint, thyme, and marjoram. There is no rush here. It's only quiet purpose, only care. In this place, healing was not hurried. It was a practice of patience, the gathering of a sprig of rue, the tying of a bundle of chamomile, the slow drying of herbs upon wooden racks in the gentle sun. Each act carried with it not just knowledge, but reverence. And so, even now, in this moment, we can rest in that slowness. There is no need to hurry, no need to think of what comes next. Only the soft, timeless rhythm of the garden. And as we leave the garden behind, we find ourselves once more on the quiet streets of a medieval village. Cobbled stones worn smooth beneath the tread of many feet, the soft glow of lantern light at dusk, the warm scent of bread and wood smoke in the air. The apothecary's shop waits upon the corner, its wooden door slightly ajar, inviting us to step inside one last time. Within, the air is rich with the mingled scents of herbs, of sweet resins and sharp vinegars, of beeswax and oil. The shelves are lined with bottles and jars, each holding some promise of comfort, of healing. Let's stand quietly and watch as the apothecary works, unhurried, the gentle scrape of the pestle in the mortar, the soft clink of glass against glass, slow, steady drip of oil into a waiting vial. Perhaps he hums softly to himself as he works. A tune long forgotten, save for these quiet moments at day's end. Outside, the village settles into night. A soft breeze stirs the leaves. The voices of villagers fade into the hush of evening. And here within these walls, the work of care continues. A tea of chamomile to bring sleep. A syrup of honey and horehound to ease a cough. Simple balm of rosemary and olive oil to soothe an aching joint. Each remedy made not only with skill, but with kindness. And as we watch, let us breathe in that sense of care. Let it ease our own hearts. Let it remind us that across the centuries, human hands have always worked, gently, to bring comfort to one another. Now, let us drift further still. To the warmth of a firelit hall, imagine the glow of the hearth, casting soft shadows upon the walls. The air sweet with the scent of spiced wine, of roasting meat, of fresh bread. Friends gather, their voices low, their laughter soft. A minstrel plays upon a lute, the notes rising and falling like a gentle breeze. Here, too, is a kind of healing, the healing that comes from fellowship, from shared moments of peace, from the simple act of being together at the close of day. Spiced wine, sweet with honey and warm with cinnamon and clove, is passed from hand to hand. Sip here, a smile there. And the cares of the day seem, for a time, to soften and drift away. Let us linger in this hall. Let us feel its warmth, its ease. The night deepens outside. The stars wheel slowly across the sky. And within these walls, the world feels, for a little while, gentle, safe, at peace. Let's return in our thoughts to those quiet moments when someone sat alone by the glow of a candle, sipping a simple draft, perhaps a tea of poppy, perhaps a cordial sweetened with rose, seeking rest, seeking dreams, seeking that soft forgetting that night sometimes brings. The candle flickers, the air is still, and sleep, gentle and kind, comes at last. Across this long night of memory, let us revisit the small charms, the quiet rituals that brought comfort to medieval hearts. A pouch of lavender beneath a pillow, string of rue and sage worn at the neck, a wisp of sweet smoke from burning frankincense curling slowly toward the rafters. Each small act a way of saying, I wish for peace, I wish for rest, I wish for comfort. And so, as we drift together through these quiet scenes, let us allow their stillness to fill our own hearts. Let the slowness of their rhythm guide our breath. Let the softness of their moments ease our thoughts. There is no need to think of tomorrow, no need to dwell upon the day now past. Only this moment, only this quiet, only the gentle thread of time that connects us all. Let's return once more, in our minds, to that monastery garden. The dawn is near. A soft mist clings to the grass. The first birds stir and sing low in the trees. The herbs glisten with dew waiting to be gathered. The world is new again. And here, in this hush, we can find our own peace, the healers of the past, the apothecaries, the monks, the simple folk who tended plants and prepared remedies. They work not only to mend the body, but to soothe the spirit. And in this long thread of care, we are connected. Their hopes were our hopes, their need for comfort, our own. Their small, gentle acts of kindness, a tea brewed, a balm prepared, prayer whispered, are echoes of the care we give and receive even now. So let us close our eyes and rest in that thought. Let the memory of the monastery's quiet paths, the apothecary's warm shop, the firelit hall of friends, be like a soft blanket around us. Let the scents of mint, of lavender, of sweet wine drift through our minds like a comforting breeze. And as the night deepens, as the stars shine on high, let us feel the peace that comes from knowing that across all time, we are never truly alone. There have always been those who sought to heal, to comfort, to bring rest. And tonight, their quiet work keeps us company still. So thank you, dear friend, for wandering softly through time with me. May your night be gentle, may your dreams be kind, and may peace find you wherever you are. Good night.